Hey, welcome to another How to Get the Most Out of MinHub tutorial. My name is Kurt Libby. I'm a pastor and the creator of MinHub apps, and everything part of MinHub is built to help you keep track of all the pieces of ministry so that you can minister well. Today, we're talking about how you can use MinHub to record ministry moments and how these differ from events and how they are the simple but ultimate tool for empowering your staff and volunteers in your ministry. When we're through with this tutorial, you'll be able to teach the full ministry loop. It looks like this, where you have event ministry, and then you record moments, and then you also have random moments of ministry, and then you actually record those as well, and what that means. This loop will help you keep on top of not just who is in your ministry, but what is happening in your ministry. So you probably know that there are 4 ministry apps: kids, youth, college, and groups. Sometimes there are some nuances between the different apps, but ministry moments work the same in all 4 apps. So if you learn how to do it in one app, you'll be set for all 4 ministry apps. So before we get into the how-to, I want to help you understand why I built this feature, and while it's not the flashiest part of MinHub, it is honestly the most important part for anyone who is truly trying to steward a growing ministry. So first, a little definition here. Hopefully events are fairly clear to you. They are scheduled times that you and your people gather together. You can create plans, RSVPs, take attendance, generate reports, and analyze statistical data about events. Ministry moments, though, are different. Ministry moments are recorded after the fact. The anatomy of a ministry moment is a title, a date, a time, and who was involved, and optionally some notes about the moment. But the really powerful part is creating a rhythm in ministry where your staff, leaders, and volunteers record ministry moments after your events. For me, this was the most difficult part about stewarding a growing ministry. Some stories will get back to me about what was happening in the ministry, but as I began to equip and empower more and more leaders, I didn't always hear about what was happening in the ministry. So once your leaders start recording ministry moments, it allows you to do a couple of things. You can look on any staff leader's profile page under events to see the ministry moments that they have recorded. Looking at this data allows me to assess what is happening in ministry, whether or not we have a training issue, or there are growth opportunities for each leader. Because if they're not actually recording any ministry moments, there's always a question of how we can improve what's going on in the ministry. So before we get into actually recording ministry moments, I need to say a quick word about MinHub Sync. If you're just using MinHub for free on your one device, you probably don't have other staff connected on MinHub yet. If you want to start connecting more devices so you can equip and empower your volunteers, leaders, and other staff and collect these ministry moments from them, you'll need to start a subscription. It comes with a 30-day free trial that creates a cloud database so your whole ministry team can connect to that same database from their own devices in their own profiles, and in this way they can record ministry moments from their own devices, and then that information gets back to you. So let's check out how it works. Okay, so there are 3 different ways to create ministry moments in the app, and one is right here in the feed tab where you'll see recent events and moments. So right here, recent events and moments, underneath this you'll always see the most recent 10 events and 10 ministry moments that have been recorded. So ministry moment looks like this. It kind of has a title. If there's a description, that'll be in there, any notes, and then also who was involved in the moment and when it happened. This little plus button right over here is a very quick way. If you just tap that will allow you to record a ministry moment. You can see right here it says one person, so I'm logged in as Paul Blart. And so obviously I'm part of that ministry moment if I'm recording it, so I can come down here and see that I'm already checked off. But let's say that Lizzie and Joe and Brenda were all part of this ministry moment where we prayed together, and you can put in whatever is happening for this ministry moment, and then you can add notes as well if there's something that you want to put. These ministry moments are visible to any staff that are in the ministry moment. It will be visible to them, and then any admins can see all the ministry moments. And then if you are connected to these people either through a small group or something like that, depending on the app, you'll also have, if you have the permissions to see the contact information for the people that are linked to them, then you will also be able to see that information about ministry moments as well. So I would put private information in here. You could put some private information, but if it's extremely personal, you might not want to, just because of who might end up seeing that in the long run. So I'm going to create this ministry moment, and now you can see I've been working on a little sample here, so you can see a couple different ministry moments that happened today, December 9th, 2022. There are two other ways that you can record ministry moments. One of them is in the events tab. If you tap this plus button up over here, there's two different things that you can do. One is create a new event, and the other one is a moment. So if you're an events admin or the ministry leader, then you can create events. If not, then, and they tap that button, any of your staff that aren't admins in this area, it'll just take them straight to creating a moment. And it's very similar. It's just like on the first page. It's just another place in case people go there to look. You can, it already is going to have me as a checked off, and then you can add that stuff as well. So that's another place that you can go to add ministry moments. The third place is actually in a profile. So I'm going to come in here and I'm going to look at Cam Newton, and then I'm going to tap on events down here on the bottom right. There's different places that the events button shows up, but you can always see this in the ministry or in any profile view as long as you have permissions for that person in the app. So here you can see an old test that I did back in August 18th of 2020, where you can see Paul and Cam both had a ministry moment. ASDF was what I had put in because it was a test. You can jump in here and edit that if I want to edit the notes, if I want to delete the moment. That's available for you, but it's a quick way. If you just tap on it, you can see that information. And then if I hit the plus button while I'm on a person's profile, you can see here that it actually puts two people automatically in. I could jump in there and add more people if, let's say that I wanted to record a ministry moment and there were more people there or part of that, I can add those as well. So I'm going to back out of here, and one of the really nice things about these ministry moments is seeing that in the profile. So let's say something happened with Johnny Manziel, and I'm not super connected to Johnny. I know him in the ministry, but something happened, and I want to see who has been connected with Johnny. So one of the things that I can do is I can jump in here and tap on events, and I can see that April 15th, tap on that. Okay, so on April 15th, back in 2017, he did a baptism class with Joe Burrow and Jameis Winston, and Vivian was the teacher. So I know that Johnny was connected to Vivian, and that really helps me make some ministry decisions if I'm able to just look back and see in the ministry moments who are the staff, who are the volunteers that they've been connected with. That's really, really helpful. One other thing that's super helpful is in your smart groups. So right here, I've created a smart group that says, has not had MM. That's what I titled it for Ministry Moment. This is a group that when I pull it up, it's checking the last month and it's telling me these are all the people that have not had a ministry moment in the last month. And this, you could actually pair this with other filters as well. So I'm going to show you real quick how to make a smart group that leverages the information about these ministry moments. So personal or shared doesn't really matter. That's for another tutorial, but you would name it, and then what type of group is it? You're going to pick a smart group and then add filters. So in the filters, I'm going to say event filters. You can see it right here that it's either has had or has not had a ministry moment. So I'm going to say has not had a ministry moment in the last in the next thing you pick it in the last week, the last 2 weeks, and you can pick however long. So I'm going to say in the last month, and then I can actually pair that with other things. So I'm going to say my regular attenders for my Saturday night service this year. So what this is going to do is it's going to look over the last year, this last calendar year, and see who are my regular attenders. And it's going to compare that with people that have not had a ministry moment in the last month. So that gives me a really good list of like, hey, these are the regular people that are showing up, but no ministry moments are being recorded. I maybe need to check in and kind of see what's going on there. So it's a really powerful way for you to combine some filters to get the information about what's happening in your ministry and who it's happening with. And it kind of closes that loop so that you are then aware of who might be a great person to reach out to, just to kind of see, hey, what's going on in your life. So that's how you use ministry moments. It's super powerful. It's way better than just finding your attendance. And the best thing that you can do is teach your staff that after an event, so you go to the event, you minister at the event, you take attendance at the event, but when the event is over, that's when you would go through the cycle and you would actually record any ministry moments that happen in the event. Each ministry can decide, like, Some things are like, hey, we did a catechism class, we did a baptism class, somebody got baptized, somebody had a profession of faith, all the way down to, hey, we prayed together. They asked me about this other piece of ministry. You could record all kind of ministry information in there. It really is up to you. And then also as random event times, that there's random ministry moments. I saw somebody in town. We went to a football game, and these people were there. We were able to minister. Any sort of like, hey, this thing happened. Getting that into a database in a way that you can keep track of that is extremely helpful. And so I just encourage you to use ministry moments, but also to train your staff to get in the rhythm of, after something happens, this is where I go and put that. Just so that these things don't slip through the cracks, and it allows you as a ministry leader to make the best decisions with the most information. Again, the goal here is to help you keep track of all the pieces of ministry so that you can minister well. I've tried to make these ministry moments really accessible for anybody to just jump in and record those very quickly in a way that helps that information get back to any leaders that need to know that information, either right away or later down the road. If you need help with any of this, please reach out to support@minhubapp.com. And if you have any ideas on how we can improve the ministry moments in the MinHub apps, or any other ways, things that you would like to see recorded in there, please leave a comment below. I'd love to hear how it's working for you and how we can improve this in the months and years to come. So that's it for now. I hope you enjoyed this how to get the most out of MinHub tutorial, and we'll see you in the next one. Bye.